Hey everybody, today's Monday. And yesterday of course was the Super Bowl. And I did a video on, whether you really want to be attaching your antenna, your fuel lines to something that has a lot of stuff that may not be something you want to attract or be a part of or add amplification to, regardless of what your reason is for attaching it. And it's the same thing with any other energies that you allow your antenna to go out and attach to and bring the information back. So when you go out and you attach to this, you can also allow the antennas that are there to come back and attach to you, and you may not realize it, and you haven't properly unlodged, dissolved, and resolved any attachments to a particular situation. A prime example is you can't unhear and unsee certain things, right? Which is why people will put out things in the news media and in all the social media about, hyping up certain things. And a lot of people get into costume over it. Let's talk about someone recently posted out, famine's coming, and it's a video of what looks like a poor African woman talking about her predictions on famine. And so what does that do? It makes it more believable for people who might not believe it because they're in costume and you're assuming maybe they're from a certain part of the country, or you're assuming what they say may be real, because if you keep saying the lie, it eventually, parts of it appear to be true or appeal to your fear side, okay? Then you've got people out here posting about the Super Bowl saying, I had a vision about birds winning, or, the particular bird that is playing as a symbol to a team was mentioned 4 or 5 times in the Bible. And so if they win, that's a clear sign of that color or that bird being a representation of God. Okay? So again, this is all theater. This is all theater to get you to take one feeler and stick it out there and attach into that well and stir around and suck up that information and bring it back into your column of light. And then your column of light's job is to work through that information, filter it, and decide, does this make sense? Is this real? Does this apply to me? So on and so forth. But most of the time, when you reach a feeler out and it's sucking up information and it's bringing it back, most people don't really filter it in a cleaning sort of way, so it's not left ricochet rabbiting and floating and constantly recoiling and repeating and then stored into your subconscious. So even those people that you trust out there that put out some good information are being hooked into a lot of this other misinformation, or information that maybe in the moment their energies were down at a little lower density and it appeared true, and they just want to make sure you guys are aware of it. But regardless of what it is, whenever you send a feeler out, before you land on it, ask, is this information something that is needed in your column of light? Do you even need to know anything about it? For example, they're still posting out all these things about Super Bowl commercials. So what does that do? That keeps your antenna out and then still hooked in And you don't understand that this is the energies that are still feeding the Super Bowl energies and all that transpired, good, bad, and indifferent. Okay? So you have to say to yourself, that was yesterday. It doesn't apply to me today. Don't need to see it. Don't need to toddle. Don't need to share it with others. I don't need to look at all these different signs that are getting put out as good or bad, because that's a polarity that has truly been dissolved and is being dissolved in this 3D earth plane as we elevate to higher states of consciousness and higher states of density. But while we're in this magnetic electronic world of pull and tug and this and that, we are getting sucked back into a vortex that isn't serving us with the energies that are honestly here trying to place you over here. So if you keep feeding and fueling, you're going to have to pay more attention to your filtering of this energy and learning how to let it go so it doesn't stay there taking up space, sucking and robbing other information in your cellular DNA that needs to come forth. So if you want something to come forth, you've got to clean off these surfaces, and they run kind of deep. And then if you keep hearing them from people that are bebopping around out there posting all of this, some in costume, some not in costume. And then you're relying on your physical eye and your physical ears to filter all this information, when we really need to go into the God source sensories. And where did I place that? Oh, that doesn't feel good. I don't need that. I don't need to know about that. That doesn't lighten my load for the day. That doesn't keep me in a place of more balance and homeostasis. It doesn't keep me in a place of more joy and happiness. It just gives me more stuff to spin, to recoil and spin constantly, which really lowers all frequencies, including the heaviness that we get in our bodies. Okay. And yeah, monkey motor mind, the emotional motor minds, the feelings, all these things that aren't getting processed, but yet we keep bringing in more things that we think are going to help us process. So anywho, I hesitated on coming on today, but I just saw that it was coming up, and Spirit was like, Sandy, just turn on the camera and just go through what it is that we're telling you. And whoever it reaches out there, it reaches to, hopefully, it doesn't serve me. Not going to make me a taller, happier, lighter, free-flowing, loving being, right? And only allow that to fill your column of light. I said yesterday in the video, pay attention to what you're giving, allowing to take space in your time, talent, treasury. See what's taking space all here and say, nope, nope, woohoo, clear that all off. I don't need it. I don't want it. I don't desire it. It doesn't get me to where I want to go in manifesting a life that I desire as a God source being in this physical avatar. All right. So enough from me. Please like, subscribe, and share. Please go to my website, embodimentofthesoul.com. It's a basic front-loading website. Really, the powerhouse is once you connect with me and have a session so that you can empower yourself to learn to filter through and empty out compartments that no longer serve you. All right? Much love. Bye.